Go.
Since the building was bought by Closed Properties, the Kashanian family, these notices have been particularly difficult. These notices date from 2019, when the building was owned by Hank Freed and the Impulsive Group, and it was one of his 3 very successful illegal hotels. They are really partial vacates. You can see there it says partial, and it actually lists the room numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 room numbers. My room number isn't on there, and these rooms don't even exist anymore because the luxury apartments are already in construction. These buildings, these doors have been torn down. I have one of the signs that was on the door, but I've had visiting nurses, and part of HRA even said they won't send their workers here. Now I get caseworkers and people that come here still, but it has kept me from having the services that I need because they read this and they feel like I've even had I've had other people that said we can't come into the building, because you would think by reading this that it was the whole building, but it's not the whole building. And the other signs would have you believe that everything is up to code with the Department of Buildings and everybody else. I doubt that, quite frankly, because I've experienced some of the things that they're not doing or haven't done that I believe are part of the tenants, the Department of Building Tenants Bill of Construction Rights, which should have been posted 6 months before they started the work, when they put the applications in 2022. They came in here and started construction and demolition on our community kitchen with no warning, without posting the proper signs. That's what started the failure to grant access holdover proceedings in housing court. That's what they held against me, because I've reported them to every agency I possibly could. Anyway, these signs, apparently they can't take down until they change the certificate of occupancy, and they can't do that while I'm there, so I'm in their way. I understand I'm in their way. I'm sorry, it could have happened a different way, but they've just done everything to make it harder and harder and harder for me. The other thing that's really bad about this is that they didn't give us an intercom. They could wire the whole place with cameras, but they couldn't put in an intercom for 2 senior disabled people, or at the time, 3 or 4 tenants. 3 other tenants. They couldn't put an intercom. What they did was they wired a keypad here that everybody else can let themselves in by, but it's not for use for any tenant. They gave us a key that couldn't be copied, so no emergency key that can go with my emergency contacts in case of urgency. So I've had numerous calls to 911 welfare or wellness checks where the police have not been able to get in. Sometimes they have been able to get in, and they have knocked on my door, and I was thankful because I was in a bad way and people cared about me. But I think of my neighbor, Patricia Paquette, who's behind a double set of locked doors with no phone, no access. She's a shut-in. She's in her 80s. She doesn't really understand what she signed away and how they've treated her and how isolated she is. But for all the money they spent to protect their property and put cameras that come down on us as we're going between our homes and our bathrooms, they couldn't put in an intercom. This building was open 24/7 for as long as I've lived here, with someone there, especially the 12 years it was run as an illegal hotel. There was always somebody at the concierge. There was always someone. My friends, someone that was concerned about me, a social worker, someone from HRA could get in here. But no, that's what they did. Isolated the floor.